It was a sweltering afternoon in the quiet suburbs of Austin, Texas, back in the summer of 2022. The kind of day where the heat waves danced off the asphalt and everyone stayed indoors with their AC blasting. I remember it like it was yesterday, sitting on my porch with a cold beer, trying to mind my own business. My name's Alex, and I'd lived in that neighborhood for about 5 years. It was one of those gated communities with manicured lawns and strict rules about everything from fence heights to holiday decorations. But that day, things got weird fast. Across the street, my neighbor Tom was in deep trouble. He'd fallen behind on his mortgage payments after losing his job during the pandemic, and the bank had finally pulled the trigger on foreclosure. A federal marshal showed up around noon, a no-nonsense guy named Deputy Harris, badge gleaming under his crisp uniform. He had the court papers in hand, ready to oversee the eviction. Tom's family was inside, packing up what they could salvage: boxes of clothes, kids' toys, a lifetime of memories spilling out onto the driveway. It was heartbreaking to watch, but legal, you know? The law's the law. That's when she arrived. Mrs. Evelyn Thompson, the self-appointed queen of our homeowners association. Evelyn was in her late 50s, with that perfectly coiffed hair that never moved, even in the Texas wind, and a clipboard always tucked under her arm like a weapon. She'd been HOA president for years, ruling with an iron fist over petty disputes like overgrown hedges or unauthorized basketball hoops. Everyone knew her, some feared her, others just rolled their eyes. But Evelyn, she believed in her power like it was gospel. She pulled up in her shiny SUV, screeching to a halt right in front of Tom's house. "What's going on here?" she barked, stepping out in her khaki capris and HOA-branded polo shirt. Deputy Harris glanced up from his paperwork, unfazed. "Ma'am, this is a federal eviction. Court ordered. Please step back." Evelyn's face twisted into that mix of outrage and entitlement I'd seen a dozen times at community meetings. She planted her feet firmly on the sidewalk, hands on hips. "Federal? I don't care if you're from the moon. This is Willow Creek Estates, and as HOA president, I have the final say on all property matters here. Our bylaws clearly state in Section 4.2 that no changes to occupancy can occur without board approval. And I haven't approved this." I nearly choked on my beer from across the street. Was she serious? Deputy Harris paused, his expression shifting from professional calm to barely concealed amusement. "Ma'am, with all due respect, HOA rules don't override federal law. This is a U.S. Marshal executing a court order. You need to move along." But Evelyn wasn't backing down. "Oh no," she doubled down, her voice rising like a siren. She whipped out her phone and started quoting from the HOA handbook she'd digitized. "Listen here, officer whatever you are. Article 7, subsection 3. All evictions or transfers of property must comply with community standards, including a 30-day notice to the board for review. We've got covenants that protect our property values. If Tom leaves like this, it'll tank the whole block. I demand you halt this immediately." The tension thickened like the humid air. Tom's wife peeked out the door, eyes wide with confusion and hope maybe Evelyn could actually stop this nightmare. Deputy Harris sighed, radioing for backup just in case. "Lady, your bylaws are about as relevant here as a snowball in hell. This family's got to go today. Federal marshals don't answer to neighborhood busybodies." Evelyn's cheeks flushed redder than a Texas sunset. She stepped closer, jabbing a finger at his chest. "Busybodies? I'll have you know I've kept this community pristine for a decade. We find people for less than this. If you proceed, I'll sue the lot of you, the bank, the courts, even the government. Our HOA has lawyers on retainer." From my porch, I felt a storm brewing inside me. Disbelief hit first. How could someone be so deluded? Evelyn truly thought her little fiefdom trumped the entire U.S. legal system. Frustration boiled over next. This wasn't just ignorance, it was dangerous arrogance. People like her made life harder for everyone, turning simple rules into weapons while ignoring real authority. I wanted to yell, to tell her to back off and let the poor family grieve in peace, but I stayed put, heart pounding, watching the drama unfold like a bad reality show. The high noon standoff dragged on. Neighbors started peeking from windows, phones out recording. Deputy Harris's patience snapped. "Step aside, or I'll cite you for obstruction." Evelyn hesitated, her unwavering conviction cracking just a hair as reality dawned. But she huffed. This isn't over, and stormed back to her car, already dialing her lawyers. The eviction continued, Tom's family loading up their truck amid tears and whispers. Deputy Harris just shook his head, muttering something about entitled folks as he drove off later. In the end, Tom and his family moved to a smaller place downtown, starting over. Evelyn. She called an emergency HOA meeting that night, ranting about government overreach and proposing new fines for unapproved departures. The neighborhood buzzed for weeks. Some sided with her, claiming local control mattered. Others, like me, saw it as pure lunacy. What do you think? Should HOA presidents like Evelyn have more power to challenge federal actions, or is that just asking for chaos? Would you have stepped in if you were me, or let it play out? And honestly, has something like this ever happened in your neighborhood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this story got your blood boiling. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild tales that spark debate.